Isn't it a bit strange that in this vast world, we often stick to the same small corners where we were born? Here we are, on this huge spinning globe, and many of us never venture far from where our journey began. Think about it. How often do we find ourselves living, working, and eventually growing old in the same zip code where we were once kids playing in the local parks? It's like we're stitched into the very fabric of these places, bound by invisible threads to our origins, our family, and the people we've known all our lives. But let's consider this. While staying close to our roots offers comfort and stability, it also begs the question, what are we missing out on by not exploring further? The Stoic philosophers would perhaps argue that by confining ourselves geographically, we might also be limiting our personal growth. They believed in developing self-awareness and personal wisdom, which often comes from facing new challenges and stepping out of our comfort zones in a world where moving from one place to another has never been easier. Why do so many of us choose to stay put? Is it fear of the unknown? Or is there a deeper, almost primal satisfaction in remaining where things feel familiar and safe? Yet, the same Stoic teachings remind us that external circumstances don't truly bind us. It's our perceptions and attachments that do. They urged us to question our assumptions about what makes us happy and secure, proposing instead that freedom comes from within. Think about the implications of that philosophy in our modern life. In this age of connectivity, where you can live on one continent and work on another virtually, aren't the boundaries that define our lives becoming more psychological than physical? Yet somehow, even with all the technologies and opportunities available to us, the pull of the familiar keeps a firm hold on us. As we dive into this exploration, let's unravel this tug-of-war between the comfort of the known and the allure of the unknown. Why do some of us feel that persistent itch to break free from our geographical cocoons and reinvent ourselves elsewhere? And what can we learn from those who do venture out? Do they discover new parts of themselves, or do they find that no matter where they go, they carry their old selves along? This journey isn't just about physical movement. It's about the emotional and philosophical landscapes we navigate as women seeking freedom, purpose, and self-discovery. Have you ever felt that sudden urge to pack up your life and head somewhere new? Maybe it's because of a messy personal situation, or perhaps you're just fed up with your current surroundings. Sometimes you can't even pinpoint why you want to leave. It just feels like a deep, unexplained call to go. Historically, humans were nomads, roaming the earth, which might explain this lingering wanderlust. Or maybe it's our way of shaking up the daily grind, seeking renewal in different skies and streets. This feeling isn't unique or new. It's almost a fundamental part of the human condition, especially for women who have long been tethered by societal expectations. Throughout history, humans have moved across continents, driven by survival, conquest, or the simple curiosity about what lies beyond the horizon. Today, though, our reasons might look a bit different. The allure of better job prospects, the desire for a change of pace, or maybe just an escape from a life that feels too routine or painful. When we think moving away will magically solve our problems, we might be overlooking the root causes: our attitudes, our habits, or our unresolved issues. This belief in geographical solutions to existential problems can lead us into a cycle of constant escape, never truly addressing the underlying issues. I think of Aisha, a woman from Chicago who moved to Seattle to escape the weight of her family's expectations. She was the first in her family to graduate college, but instead of celebrating her, they pressured her to stay close, to take a safe job and settle down. Seattle was her rebellion, her chance to breathe. But a year later, she admitted the guilt followed her. The city was new, but the internal battle was the same. Aisha's story shows how the expectation that a new place will bring a new life can set us up for disappointment. When the novelty wears off, and we find ourselves facing the same old patterns and challenges, the disillusionment can be profound. This is where Stoic wisdom really hits home. It teaches us resilience and the understanding that our external circumstances are not the primary creators of our happiness or our suffering. Rather, it's our responses to these circumstances that matter most. Think about the energy and resources we invest in moving, the emotional toll of leaving behind friends and familiar comforts, the challenge of adapting to a new place. These are non-trivial costs. If we're making such significant changes based on the mistaken belief that location is the key to personal transformation, we might be setting ourselves up for a greater struggle. But this isn't to say that we should never move or seek a change of scenery. Sometimes a new environment can indeed provide the fresh start we need. Take Elena, a mother of two from Miami, who moved to Oregon after a divorce. The lush forests and quiet towns gave her space to heal, to rebuild her confidence as a single woman and a parent. For her, the move was a catalyst, but she'll tell you it was her choice to grow that made the difference. It's about balance, recognizing when the change is genuinely beneficial and when it might just be a distraction from the more challenging work of self-reflection and self-improvement. As women, we're often taught to prioritize others, our families, our communities, our partners over ourselves. The act of leaving, of choosing ourselves, can feel radical, but it's not enough to just go. We need to understand why we're going and what we're moving toward. Let's keep these Stoic insights in mind, using them to anchor our decisions, not just in the hope of what might be, but in the realistic understanding of what a change of scenery can and cannot provide. This approach doesn't diminish the excitement of a new adventure, it enriches it, ensuring that our choices are grounded in wisdom rather than mere escapism. What if the drive to leave isn't just about seeking happiness, but about asserting our freedom? This perspective gives our desires a different shade. Philosophers like Simone de Beauvoir and Jean-Paul Sartre viewed freedom as a fundamental aspect of human existence. They argued that we have the power to redefine our lives, free from the predetermined roles society places on us. For women, this is a battle cry. Choosing to leave is a powerful declaration of autonomy. It's about stepping out of preset paths and crafting our own narratives. It's not merely running away, it's moving toward a new, self-defined existence. The Stoics, too, cherished freedom, but their conception was more about internal freedom from passions, disturbances, and the tyranny of external circumstances. Marcus Aurelius often spoke of the freedom found in self-mastery and living in accordance with nature. When we decide to leave, in a sense, attempting to master our own destinies by changing our surroundings to better fit our internal vision of how we want to live. This assertion of freedom can be empowering, especially for women who've been told their destiny is to serve, to stay, to shrink. It involves recognizing that while we may not control everything that happens to us, we always have a choice about where we go next, both geographically and in life. Deciding to leave behind what's familiar can be a radical act of self-assertion. It says that our lives are our own to shape, and we are not irrevocably bound by our past or our current environment. Think of Malala Yousafzai, who left her home in Pakistan not just to escape danger, but to amplify her voice for girls' education worldwide. Her move wasn't just physical, it was a statement of freedom, a refusal to let her story be written by others. But this pursuit of freedom through relocation also brings with it a responsibility to not just flee from discomfort, but to actively create a life that reflects our values and aspirations. It's about understanding that while changing locations can be part of our journey toward freedom, the real work is still done within. We must cultivate a mindset that seeks freedom not just from something but for something. It's about envisioning a life that aligns more closely with our ideals and then taking the bold steps necessary to realize that vision. In doing so, we live out another Stoic principle. The idea that true freedom comes from living in agreement with reason. By thoughtfully choosing our path and understanding the motivations behind our desire to leave, we align our actions with our rational understanding of what will truly benefit us. This is freedom in its highest form, not merely the ability to do as we please, but the power to do what is genuinely good for us. So, as we contemplate leaving everything behind, let's view it not just as a flight from what's familiar, but as a courageous step toward personal freedom. It's a gesture of liberation from the constraints of a predetermined existence, an exercise in crafting our life's narrative, and a profound assertion of our capacity to shape our destinies. In this way, our decision to leave becomes a reflection of our deepest values and a testament to our commitment to live freely and authentically. Perhaps this urge to leave is not about escaping, but about embracing our true nature as women who refuse to be confined. Think about it. Human history is filled with movements, explorations, and migrations. It's in our genes to seek new horizons, to explore and conquer new lands. This inherent desire to push boundaries and discover new territories isn't just about survival or economic gain. It's a profound expression of our curiosity and our need to grow. For women, this drive has often been stifled by societal norms, by gender roles, by the expectation to stay put and nurture rather than venture out and conquer. When we heed the call to leave, we're tapping into a deep vein of human spirit that compels us to seek out new experiences and challenges. The Stoics believed that understanding our true nature was essential to living a good life. They emphasized knowing oneself and living in harmony with that knowledge. When we feel the impulse to leave everything behind, it's worth asking, are we running from a situation, or are we moving toward a deeper understanding of ourselves? This introspection can transform the mere act of moving into a journey of self-discovery, especially for women who've been denied the space to explore who they are beyond their roles as daughters, wives, or mothers. By stepping out of our comfort zones and into new environments, we're forced to confront aspects of ourselves that are easy to ignore in familiar settings. I think of Priya, an Indian-American woman who left her tight-knit family in New Jersey for a solo adventure in Thailand. She'd spent years living for her parents, approval, good grades, good job, good daughter. But in Thailand, with no one to please but herself, she discovered a boldness she didn't know she had. She learned to negotiate with street vendors, to navigate foreign cities, to trust her instincts. Priya's story isn't just about travel. It's about a woman claiming her right to know herself. This exploration of our truest selves isn't just about geographical change. It's about testing our limits, facing our fears, and uncovering our potential. Each new place can act as a mirror, reflecting parts of our character that we've never seen or have long ignored. Are we as adaptable, brave, or independent as we think? Moving and starting anew offers a unique opportunity to answer these questions, providing a setting where our true selves can emerge without the constraints of our past identities or expectations. For women, this is revolutionary. We've been told who we are supposed to be: quiet, compliant, rooted. But when we leave, we get to ask, who am I really? The Stoic practice of self-examination helps us to differentiate between what is genuinely in our control and what is not. In new environments, this becomes crucial. We learn to distinguish between external changes and internal growth. While our surroundings can influence us, they do not define us. Our truest selves are defined by how we respond to the world around us, by our decisions, and by our commitment to live according to our values. So, as we talk about leaving everything behind, let's consider it as more than a physical journey. It's a spiritual and psychological voyage toward understanding who we truly are as women. It's about embracing the unknown not just outside but within ourselves. This journey of self-discovery can be as daunting as it is exhilarating. As we navigate new landscapes, We also navigate the complexities of our inner landscapes, learning, growing, and perhaps finding aspects of ourselves we never knew existed. The desire to leave everything behind and start anew can be a pivotal chapter in our life story, one where we not only discover new horizons in the outer world, but also explore the uncharted territories of our inner world. This is where the true adventure lies, not in the miles traveled, but in the incremental steps we take toward becoming more fully realized versions of ourselves. By engaging in this journey, we honor our most authentic desires and potentials, forging paths that resonate deeply with our core being. Let's reflect on the profound journey we've embarked on together. The desire to leave, to change our environment, to seek new experiences, it's a narrative as old as humanity itself. Yet, as we've explored, the true journey isn't just about crossing physical boundaries, it's about crossing the internal ones as well. The Stoics remind us that wherever we go, we bring ourselves with us, and thus the most significant changes occur not in the scenery around us but within the landscapes of our minds. Embracing change, whether by changing our location or our perspective, challenges us to grow and adapt in ways that comfort and familiarity never can. It asks us to look deeply at who we are and who we can become. The Stoic idea of focusing on our internal rather than external changes encourages us to cultivate resilience, wisdom, and a profound understanding of our true selves. So, whether you're contemplating a major move or just thinking about how to improve your current situation, remember that the most important journey is the one that leads to a better understanding of yourself. It's not just about finding a new place in the world, but about finding a new peace within yourself, where true contentment lies. For women, this is empowerment in its purest form, a chance to break free from societal chains and write our own stories, step by courageous step.